Delta group once again. I'm Becca, I play Elspeth the Bard, and I will let the others introduce themselves in whatever order they so choose. We are currently missing Azuzu, who plays Elizabeth/Copy, and Ami, who plays Maka. They will potentially be joining us later.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Alex. I will be playing Azuz. Jesus, I do apologize. Azir Sunblessed, the High Elf Cleric of Life.
Hello, I am Chaz, and I will be playing Cloud, the Tabaxi Rogue Warlock.
Sam, I'm playing Toto Halfpint, the Halfling Ranger.
Everybody else gone? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I am Scott, the DM for Delta Monday group here, and I'm half asleep, so excuse me.
And I believe Traz is doing our recap of last week.
Yay, goody gumdrops, me. But yeah, last week, that was quite interesting. We, after finding out some information from the gift prisoner we went and saw, we managed to break him out of jail with a bit of awkwardness of us having to knock out a couple of guards and then tricking the rest of the guards to go chase Copy. But we got him out flawlessly, pretty much. Following that, we went back to the ship to meet up with the Mind Flayer. The group confronted her and talked to her, finding out that it was actually a illusion, and were attacked by some spider brain like crawly tentacle things. The group got into a fight. The Mind Flayer unfortunately got away, and the group survived just before, thankfully, Toto got his brain eaten and replaced by one of these creepy crawlies. After which we went and searched the Mind Flayer's hideout, collecting some books, a few random items, some peculiar moving staff that had more tentacly stuff, sort of seeming like a bit of a sex dungeon, but you know. And got returned to the ship after doing a few odd bits, and met up with one of the two tiefling brothers who wished to accompany us to get his brother back, and the 5 orc barbarians, as we found out at the end of the last session, as we took off to hopefully rescue a bunch of people from the GIF and do some good, hopefully. I think that's everything.
I think that's about everything covered.
Yeah, I believe that's it as well.
As Scott said at the end of the last session, we're leaving on a gift ship.
Guys are in the air for a few brief moments, overlooking Westrun and most of Taldori itself, before suddenly seeing ahead of the ship a tear-like opening in the sky, and with a little bit of turbulence, disappear from the material plane, and are now in the midst of this swirling mass of colours around you on the Astral Sea. How do you wish to proceed, as you're just being guided with the Gith sitting in the helm, just going of course.
Have we like fully rested and stuff now?
Nope.
And rest
Good.
on the ship if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a nap.
Cloud will go up to Jeff, our gift friend, and ask him, excuse me, how long should it take us to get there?
Whilst trying to concentrate on like manning the helm, he just kind of looks over at you and with a stern look goes, "Time is not the same as it is back there. It is going to be short trip, but very dangerous trip."
Okay, good to know. Cloud will probably go and find a spot to sit up the bow of the ship and just rest up and take a short rest.
Any particular task that people would like to do, or rest up, or
Elspeth is going to try and get her 4 hours long rest. If she doesn't manage it, she'll take a short rest.
Azir will go into the crow's nest and take his 4 hours long rest.
we'll say that Maka and Copy are also just kind of like, yeah, we're going to just like chill out for a bit. Pleasant flight for the first what feels like couple hours as you are just cruising through. Orcs are keeping themselves kind of amused, just either sharpening up their weapons or playing a couple chords on their various instruments, just like do 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 do. Link, who's accompanying you, is kind of just holed up in his room, just like keeping to himself. For a while, nothing seems to be of any issue. The rest period goes by. Everyone's all back to rested and recovered.
So is that a long rest?
Yep.
Toto's gonna want to take a look at the the ballista things. Just see like how they move, how they work, get a little feel for them.
They're a lot more refined and easier to use than most ballistas that you would encounter on board ships. That they can be loaded and fired and operated by a single individual if need be. Take like an action to reload, an attack action to reload and fire.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, I can probably use this and find yourself a box to stand on so you can kind of get level in front.
Yeah, pretty much.
And normally a gift vessel of this size wouldn't be armed; it would be an unmanned, it would be an unarmed transport. But in the process of salvaging it and the other ship, that someone took the ballistas from the other ship and went, well, you know what? This thing can punch above its weight if we were to put these on, and they've kind of fitted it on relatively sturdy. So it's got two ballistas, one at the front, one at the back. Enough kind of traversal bit to fire it side on if it need be.
After a little while, Cloud will go to Elizabeth. Excuse me, my dear, can I have a moment?
Of course.
I was curious. I know. How many sort of magic items do you have?
In what way? Useful one on me right now? In general? Useful in battle? Not useful in battle?
The ones you sort of have to concentrate for. Attune to, as they say.
I only have one that I need to be attuned to.
And out of earshot of pretty much everybody, Cloud sort of makes sure they're away. He pulls out the psionic headband he got from the professor's lab. This, I think, may help us pilot a ship, I'm hoping. But there's no guarantee, but it is our sort of last hope.
So you want me to attempt to pilot the ship home?
Well, I want to let you know that I've got it at the minute. If we're going in as prisoners, most of our equipment might be taken off of us. So if you, I don't know what you would think is best. Maybe you can hide it on your person a bit. I know your clothes are very good like that. You can shift around. Maybe you can make a bit of a hiding spot for them. But if not, I can hold on to it for the time being.
I have a feeling it would be safer with you.
That's fair enough. It's just obviously you would need a bit of time to attune to it if we were in a bit of a rush. That's all I was thinking.
Agreed, but I believe I'd need to be wearing it to attune to it anyway. If it's in a pocket somewhere, I will most likely still need to attune to it if we're running away anyway.
That is fair enough. But as long as you remember that I have it on me, and like I say, if things don't go to plan, it's a backup option just in case.
It is a good backup option.
But I think more than likely I will probably follow you all in whilst invisible. I think that will work best for me to be in it, be your shadow for the time being instead of being one of the actors.
That might be a good idea. I was considering doing the same and making Toto invisible.
Well, with my handy haversack, if everybody wants to, before we get there, drop everything into the bag, then once you are taken to your cells or holding areas, then I can come along and break you out. We can well, I could probably have a scout around, and then we can break you out, whoever else, and hopefully get back on the ship and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that might be the best idea. I'm a little concerned that my healing abilities might be compromised while we're on a different plane. I do not understand how powers that are not my own work when I'm travelling around different planes of existence. So the least battling we can do, the better.
No, that's the plan. Hopefully it will work out. We should be in, have a bit of lounge around time while I have a look about, and then break as many people as we can out straight onto a ship and get the hell out of here. In, as they say, home for tea.
One can only hope. Just do me a favour, and if you're going to be scouting around by yourself, do not get yourself into a situation where you cannot get out.
Well, if I'm on my own, that's quite always easy for me to get out of situations.
If you say so. Just be careful, please.
Always, my dear.
I'm also slightly concerned about how Maka will deal with being in chains. She has not dealt very well when people have wronged her in her eyes. My concern is she will not think and potentially do something that we will all regret.
That is very true. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave that up to you, because I have to deal with those 5, and he points at the orcs. I wonder how well they'll do, being asked to be chained up and pretend to be slaves.
I guess we shall see when we get there.
If you want to go talk to Maka, and I will go talk to them and get them. Well, I'll try and get the 5 ready for what's to come within reason.
I believe that will be a fair trade, and she'll give him a hug and a kiss on the cheek and say, remember to be careful.
For you, always. And I'll just wink and go have a chat with the orc boys.
And Elspeth will make her way towards Maka.
As Elspeth's going towards Maka, Cloud approaches the orcs, and you can hear they kind of got like a not quite a jam session going on, but they kind of just, as they're sharpening the weapon, just like every now and again, just start playing random chords, and then somebody else will pick up the thing. Oh, what you get?
We'll do big fellas. Right, I need for you to understand what the plan is and what we're planning to do.
I'll kind of put their instruments down and just listen to you. They kind of like stand up and kind of partially surround you, like kind of like. But imagine you're like the tiny referee, and these are all the rugby players going, "Yeah, boss."
I was just thinking that. Right, I know this is going to sound probably out of your comfort zone a little bit, but this is how it's going to work. Most of you and a few of the others will pretend to be slaves, be captured, and they will take you in and to some holding cells or something. Try not to cause too much trouble, and behave yourselves until you are told otherwise. I've asked you to come and help us, just in case things go badly. Understand? If things go smoothly, I'm sorry to say, but there won't be any fighting, or not too much. Okay? Understand?
They all look at one another as if like, what? No fighting? Kind of like the balloons, kind of a little bit of air came out of it, like, but they're like, all right, you're the boss.
if you don't get any proper fight, well, if everything goes to plan and no actual fighting happens, I'll make sure to find something when we get back for you to have a good fight with. Something pretty big. How about that?
At that point, they'll kind of look at one and go, "We'll hold you to that."
Definitely. As long as you play your parts in this, okay?
I'll just nod along.
Good boys. And you're sounding very good. I like it.
At that point, Clobber kind of goes, "Yeah, not bad for only playing for a couple of weeks," and just goes, "Doo-dum-tsh," when I let random bits of armor that is used as symbols.
You'll definitely pick up fighting and playing music quite quickly, amazingly.
And all I'm going, "Yeah, Bolts can do a lot of things if we bother with it."
So I will just sort of just hang around with them for a little bit and then go. Make sure Toto's not getting up to any trouble with the ballista after a little bit.
Or Toto, make me a perception check since you're at the front end of the ship.
Okay.
As you're checking the ballista, seeing how it works, and thinking, "Yeah, I can pretty much use this," you don't really notice anything apart from the swirlers and all sorts of nonsense at the distance. Elspeth, you were heading off to talk to Maka.
Yes.
The kind of makeshift rooms with like almost like a hammock, just kind of just lying back, just Blade sitting at the side of our bunk, just goes, "Hello."
Hello, my dear. I wanted a quick chat before we do what we're planning to do. I know sometimes you struggle with, how do I put this nicely, maintaining your temper when people do things that you consider need to be responded to in equal kind. What we're doing is we're going to be pretending to be prisoners, so they are likely to treat us as such. And while our friend Jeff may not be vicious with us, we don't know how the others will deal with us while we're in that situation. But we are hoping to get out without causing a fight. So if you could attempt to remain as calm as possible and understand that our aim is to get in and to get out, that would be fantastic.
Sitting there with a raised eyebrow and just for a few minutes goes, "I will try to keep my temper at bay. But if people piss me off, I tend to," and flames kind of just like spark up.
Yes, I think we've all noticed that, and in most situations that's not a bad thing. But in some situations, it's always best to attempt to control oneself, or you make the situation worse rather than better.
So you're just like kind of hands can just like rubbing the phone kind of awkwardly, and she says, "Like, I will try to keep my temper."
Thank you very much.
As you're ready to turn and probably walk out, make me a perception check while you're in the room with.
Oh, Jesus.
Making keep during the whole discussion, can't seem to take her eyes off that ring of spell storing.
I will make note of it but not comment on it. I'll go, if you need anything, most of us are up on deck, so feel free.
Lies back in her hammock, just kind of swinging about.
Yeah, I'll walk out and go upstairs. And probably sit with the orcs and start playing and singing with them.
Yeah, kind of like a half-baked sea shanty going after you join in. Make a performance check just before we go any further. An inspiration die for all crew members. It's getting a little bit of a jam session going on. The orcs are pretty happy. They're like, "Oh hey, Elfgod can play pretty well. We can learn a thing or two." Everyone just as you're flying about in the Astral Sea, just a sight to behold. This kind of cobbled together gift ship with orcs and a tabaxi, a halfling, and a couple elves, and just it's pretty. If it weren't for the Astral Sea, it'd be pretty out of place. But hey, everyone seems to be enjoying this little kind of makeshift pleasure cruise.
So did you say we all get an inspiration?
Yep, one inspiration die each. Brief jolt in the ship as it makes a kind of almost like a very sharp turn. Everyone kind of rocks about a little bit as if, whoa, that was a bit rough. And as anyone on deck looks out, they can see there's like a large bit of debris that Jehote's kind of manoeuvred out of the way of. It just appeared quite suddenly. Back on course. Anyone else got anything they want to do while they're just kind of leisurely cruising about?
Well, considering that bit of wreckage just suddenly appeared from this point on, as he is going to have his eyes open to keep watch for anything else that might just suddenly appear, because he's got the vantage point for it.
Perception check.
Okay. Perception. 24.
Among all the kind of weird menagerie of colours and shapes on display, you spot something quite far out, but with your elf eyes, you just make out this weird looking insectoid looking shape in the distance of the port side.
Jeff, there seems to be an insect-like thing off port side distance, but is it something? Is it something we should be concerned about?
Again, while concentrating on flying, he's trying to not make too much of a movement. He goes, "Can you describe the ship?"
Can I describe it?
What you can see out here, it looks like it looks like a giant insectoid thorax with four large legs sticking out the front of it.
It looks like an insect's thorax with 4 long legs coming out of the bottom of it.
At which point Jehote kind of just stiffens up a little bit and goes, "Maybe we should try to avoid such a craft." Not wise to engage Neogi in the Astral Sea.
Can I roll a check to see if I know what Nihogi are?
Yeah, make a history check.
17?
You vaguely recall the name Nyogi. It's kind of like scattered accounts of like, and you probably dismissed them initially as like ghost stories of these large, ugly, furry, spider-like creatures with like eel-like necks and kind of long arms that snatch people in the middle of the night and then sell them off as slaves on other worlds. That's what Nyogi are.
Yeah. Wise decision. I'll keep an eye out on it and make sure there are no more appearing from anywhere.
Very wise. Be sure to inform me if you see any more.
Will do. And from this point on, I'm just going to be every so often just walking around the crow's nest, so I'm getting a full 360 view, just keeping an eye on everything and making sure to check that isn't getting any closer to us.
Okay. You've got a bead on the one that you've seen seems to be keeping a fair distance.
Good, good.
And the passage of time on the Astral Sea is very different to that of the material plane, so you're kind of not sure how long you've been traveling for, though it feels like probably about a day or two has probably passed. And Jehote kind of one's like, I must take a brief rest. And he kind of comes out of the helm, rubbing his temples a little bit, going, damage to sheep seem to be a lot more internal than I thought.
Is there a place where we could moor up out of sight?
Thinks for a moment and goes, is possible option. I will can try to get us there, but and he kind of goes a little bit like weak at the knees as he stands up.
Yeah, I hold him up and I go, don't strain yourself. If you believe it to be too much for you at the moment, go rest. I shall keep an eye out. If
Point
we
of
need to get
pride,
out
he
of
kind of once he kind of stumbles back onto his feet, kind of just like not forcefully shoves you back, kind of just like I don't need your help. Because I'll take a short rest, and then
Very
we'll
well.
resume course.
Very well. If anything comes up and we need to leave quickly, I shall get you.
Heads below deck.
Yeah, and I'll go back up into the crow's nest to keep watch.
Don't want to do anything in particular.
Nope, not really.
No, Cloud will probably try and keep an eye out as well.
Make a perception check for me, Cloud. Is well as he's looking one way, you look the other. It looks like this strange looking creature just kind of start bobbing about in the nearby area, and it kind of flies by the ship. It looks like a strange cross between like a Chinese dragon and a whale, just like just kind of fly.
Cloud will just sort of just watches it as it goes past and like, oh, that's something you don't see every day.
It's got like a kind of shimmering pattern to its back, and it looks like little bits kind of break off and just kind of float about. One of the people has to float close to the ship.
So pull out Pull out the. I'll just pull out an arrow and just sort of like see if I can touch it or like wave through it or whatever.
An athletics check. Yeah, totally missed it. Just like whoop, and the thing just flies off into the Astral Sea.
Toto say to Cloud, how much do you reckon we can get for one of them things? I reckon I could take it down.
How big is the thing?
100 meters long.
So it's bigger than the ship.
Yeah, it's bigger than the ship. You're just gonna the little ship just like this zips by and hit just like this big whale like Chinese dragon thing just floats by it. He's big.
Cloud sort of literally just stops and thinks for a good few moments, and then he's like, no matter how much I'd love to see that, and I would probably be very up for that. We have some more important things to do at the minute. Maybe on the trip home.
If we get some downtime, we've got to come back here, catch one of the bad boys.
Now that's what's just cool about going on a fishing holiday.
Yeah. One day we'll come back.
Passage of time before Jehote returns to the dock. He says, "I'm ready to return to the helm."
Are you sure
that'll-
you've rested enough?
Have to get us to safe harbor. At
Okay.
least safe enough.
Okay.
And move under its own power.
Just
As since
so
you got a 24 the last time you spotted that thing, there's now a smaller, similar looking vessel now next to the other Nyogi one, still a fair bit distance away. No immediate threat, but you now notice there's a smaller one next to the big one.
right, Jeff. It's still distance away, but now it seems it has a younger one next to it. A smaller one.
Moment and thinks. Don't need to concern ourselves as long as they keep distance.
Okay, if they get any closer, I'll let you know.
Can Elspeth hear them talking about this?
Hear them speaking, and Elfier's kind of pick it up amongst all the noise that the orcs and you are making. You kind of go, "Wait, what are they talking about?" So you get pieces of the conversation, but you don't get your context.
I kind of want to go look in what direction they're looking.
Oh.
I don't say anything, so you wouldn't have a clue what she's doing. She just got up.
No, when I mentioned little one, I'm pretty sure I would have literally pointed to it as well. If that helps any.
As you notice as you're pointing a certain direction, you look out, you can just see it again, distance, the large insectoid thorax with the four kind of bent out of like that way spiders kind of go when they say, "Come at me, bro, I'm gonna eat you," with the legs up. It's like two above and two below, kind of in a kind of fang-like motion as it's floating about in the Astral Sea. No idea what they're doing, but they're far enough distance away that you think they're not an immediate problem, but they're nasty looking, so maybe keep an eye out.
She's gonna sit there and watch them because she thinks it's mommy and baby, and she thinks that's adorable.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Another period of travel, Jeff goes, "This will be a good place to stop." And it looks like there's It looks like a bunch of rocks and various other bits of like buildings and component bits all strapped together, just floating in the Astral Sea.
Okay. Tell me what I need to do to mold this thing up for you.
It points out when I'm often thinking there's a bunch of rigging at the side with like tie up bits. When I give signal, you throw that over to the side.
Got it. Right, I'll go get in position, pick up the thing, ready to throw it.
Approach, you see this kind of weird cobble together structure thing. Got other kind of weird looking boats and ships all kind of parked at the other side. This is kind of more like a smaller docking area that he's went to.
Yep.
And you're just coming up for where the docking area is. He gives you the signal to throw the rigging over.
Yeah, I throw it.
Next check, please.
Dex check. Jesus Christ.
As you get all the things, oh, this shouldn't be too hard. And as you throw it in the midst of the Astral Sea, next thing you know, this little rotund dwarf-like being who's ready to stand out and catch you gets scudded in the face, but just like boom.
Back to laughter. It's not fun to laugh at dwarves. It's not fun to laugh at dwarves. It's not fun to laugh at dwarves.
And as the dwarf figure gets up and goes to say something, the mooring bit is caught round them, kind of like round the shoulder to the lower waist, and it starts to drag them across the docking area, like what? Much to the amusement of the other dock workers.
As he turns away and just sniggers to himself. It's on there. Whether you can tie it up or not's the question.
At this point, Johoti kind of face palms a little bit at the helm, going, "You had one job."
How far away is the ship from the dock?
After a few awkward moments of getting all the rigging things set up, it is now at the point where the ramp can be lowered. Dark.
Alright, I just thought obviously he was struggling with the rope, so Cloud was going to jump over and help.
After receiving a bloody nose and dragged around the dock, but awkwardly he's managed to get it all fixed up and just kind of looks as if that move along.
I could fix that for you if you want.
Fine, it's fine. And he just starts rubbing the blood out of his off his face.
If you're sure.
Sure, okay, move along, and he gets the last bit tied up. And Hote, who's just signals him back.
Just lowering the ramp.
If anyone else wishes to disembark for a brief period, do so. If not, stay on the ship and don't cause trouble.
Would it be wise to inform them of what I spotted whilst we were out there?
Serenity goes, no one will bother with Nyogi unless they're coming to sell.
Understood.
What sort of stuff is on this island or such?
Look around and it seems like a cobbled together menagerie of just various folk from other planes just kind of kicking around. It's kind of almost like a, for lack of a better word, it's not really much of a port or harbour. It's more like a highway stop.
But is it like a trading post type thing?
Kind of thing. Then there's a little kind of in a recess kind of half building that's kind of just like been propped up with like large wooden and metal poles. The other half of it's kind of like looks like a regular old building. It's like got like trading post like scrawled on it on a board and left on the side of it.
Cloud would definitely just say to the group that I'm just going to have a look, see if they've got anything interesting or of yours before we head back off. Shan't be long.
I'll come with you. At the very least, the stick and two's less likely to be kidnapped.
I'd like to come along.
No, you're always welcome, my friend. Like I said. And Azir, I am far too sober to be kidnapped.
You never know.
As a Cloud and Toto are disembarking.
And I'm literally going to Cloud. We're in a different plane. We don't know what could get you drunk.
If I don't drink it, I won't get drunk. That's what I've got Toto for.
I've heard of people getting drunk on air before. Weird people, but it's happened.
Don't know what sort of parties you've been to, but sounds interesting.
To the trading post.
Kind of weird music coming. Approaching the hotel, you see like hustle and bustle, people kind of go about, and there's one playing a piano kind of like construct just sitting in the corner, just like as you walk by, they change things as you go by. Hopping about keys and playing different speeds depending on who walks by. They change like the melody, the tempo. To make what's the passive perception of everyone, all those who disembarked?
17.
18.
12.
I'm on the ship, so
You guys notice the specific musician playing all this is sitting at the back of one of the stalls, just playing away on this weird board thing with a little string attached to it. Very odd looking. Looks similar to that merchant Jafar you encountered, but he's more elemental structures changed. You think, okay, must be another version of a Genasi we've not probably encountered before. Likely assumption that it's an air Genasi or some description. Abruptly, the music stops and you see this weird kind of rotund individual just kind of looking over and goes, "What? I fucking told you, enough with that shit. Move, move." And they pick up their stuff and go and grab a couple little hat full of gold coins that they had in front of them. Like, well, read it.
Just be there. Be there.
stop with the copyrighted music for fuck's sake.
If they can mute your mod because of me singing, I'm very, very flattered.
As once you continue further after watching that kind of weird, that was quite nice sounding and roughly stop station, there is a kind of marketplace square nearby. Looks like to be a large platform, and people seem to be gathering in front of it. Various stalls kind of kick about on the opposite end of where this this plaza is. So stalls one way, raised platform the other.
You want to see what the crowd's about?
Yeah, let's have a quick look before we go to the stalls.
Yeah, what harm could it do?
There are 3 vendors. One's kind of got like a weird assortment of just stuff lying around. The other one's got more weapons and arms, and the third one's got what looks like potions, alchemy stuff.
This on the big stage?
Oh, on the 3 stalls at the other side. The raised platform area is the other side.
Yeah, I thought we were going to the raised platform where the crowd was going to.
Alright, right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a look at the platform before we head to the stalls.
Alright, I got that the wrong way around. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I realised that when you mentioned it, so I thought I'd. Yep.
Yeah, I'm head up ass. Just bear with me.
No worries. We know you're tired.
Approach the stage, you see 2 kind of drow looking figures step out, along with a gnome fella who steps in and goes, "Step right out, ladies and gentlemen," and various other creatures. Today's auction's going to come off at a very, very awkward, fabulous start here. And you put in there, you can hear the wheeling out of like a really squeaky kind of trolley thing getting wheeled out. Big box like thing with a sheet over it. He's like, and we're starting with today's auction with, and he pulls the sheet back, and there's a manticore in a cage. It starts kind of like clawing at the cage, trying to get out. Various members in the crowd are all kind of looking at it as if, interesting.
Cloud sort of nudges Toto and like, we could get the manticore.
We can't keep track of the wolf pup we've got. That manticore's gonna fucking eat somebody. But I still want.
That's why we let it loose in the enemy camp.
You know, whispering something makes a bid for it, and the gentleman goes, "Sword to this wonderful businessman over here," and there's this very finely dressed gentleman steps forward and hands him over a bag of gold. And hold off.
Yeah, then I go, judging by the size of that bag, we can't afford it.
If we pull our money together, we got enough money to buy. Let's see what else comes up. Let's buy something awesome.
The next lot comes up, and it's the tank full, water tank, a fish tank kind of thing. Gets pulled up and goes, and it appears to be like a group of these fish-like people who are like got manacles on, so they can't jump out the manacle things have got like a chain tied to the bottom of the tank, so they can't jump out. But they get close enough to the surface that everyone kind of goes, "Whoa, fuck!" every time they get to the whole we'll try to escape and murder you guys for training us up. The little known fella is sitting there going, "A couple of Shiogen, please. Let's start the bidding." A couple of hands go up in the crowd. Various things go. You get the impression that this place isn't very awful or scrupulous level of business.
Yeah, but you're not telling us how much the bidding's at.
Yeah. Because the couple of these seem like, it doesn't seem like it's a proper auction. Seems like, yay, half of this is more for show. Proper auction will start in 20 minutes, folks, and then they kind of take that one away. someone else comes over with it and hands over like various like a bag of gems. You see something going over, and they're like, okay, fucked off. While you guys are going to see when the proper auction starts off. Elspeth back on the ship with the orcs. What are you up to? Anything in particular?
Keeping my eye on everyone, making sure they don't do anything stupid, and sort of keeping my eye on the ship as well.
So how do you have Copy chained up to make sure Copy doesn't do anything stupid?
I don't, because I'm not Azzy, who likes to tie people up for no reason. She is her own person, and if she wants to do something silly, she can. I will just advise her against it.
A favour, make me a perception check, please, while you're just looking out.
Me? Sorry, was that me you wanted to make a perception
Yes.
check? Okay.
Yeah. Elspeth, please. This weird kind of port island thing seems busy enough. You see the others not getting into any bother. You're keep rounds the ship. Fine. What I think you can just notice is that Macca's came up to the top deck along with Copy, and I kind of look around, and either Copy goes back below deck, although it looks as if she's like, I wonder if I can get over there and have a sneaky beaky over that. Whilst Macca's just sitting at the front, just like fobbling that ring in her finger. And looking at the scroll tube thing that you picked up from the Elephant's lab and the other. Back to the auction. Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
I wasn't going to say anything. I just said okay.
Back to the proper auctions, like the little gnome guy's like, okay, so a couple of people had already made a part of the pre-bids. That was bad on our part. You hear like a bunch of boo, you fucking half-sized prick. Get on with it. Okay, let's proper auctioneer now. Gets over the little list of prizes, puts little kind of spectacles on, and goes, right, okay. First one here was a little present from the Feywild, in which you hear kind of like, ooh, going a bit. The drow kind of starts spitting at the end of the dock. Going, oh, I fucking hate these things. They start to get build up with anticipation, in which you can tell just by looking at the gnome fella, he's just like enjoying everything. He goes, "Take a look at this, ladies and gems." Again, a little kind of cart gets wheeled out. Somebody undoes like a kind of chained like a latch on it, opens it up, and this elf-like being with a chained collar around their neck is let out. Of ooh in the crowd. I'm gonna wait, save her for a second, and goes, first bid 1,000 gold pieces or equivalent worth. Anyone gonna take the 1,000?
Do we have that?
I've got 800.
I have 40.
1,000, I assume.
Nope, just 40.
Cloud, why have we got penniless over here with it?
Why do we want an elf creature?
Well, no, I'm waiting for something with, sharper teeth or something, but
Something
all
we
gonna
can
be
actually
this
train, not talk back to us.
if they're all going to be this pricey, we may as well just duck out now. Let's wait and see what comes up. And then we
Raising
try
their
and
hand up and they go, okay, 1,000 gold pieces worth. Anyone else want to go higher? 1,200. 1,200 over there. And someone else puts a hand up. You look over, it's like cloaked figure just kind of raising their hand kind of gingerly.
I mean, the idea of these things being sold off doesn't seem right. Like, do you not think it's weird that they're selling like elf people? Does it seem kind of fucked up?
Yes, but
That's because it is.
yes, but at the same time, we are in a different place. Who are we to judge their customs, as much as it may annoy or aggravate us?
I'm sure it would annoy and aggravate you if you were chained up and being sold off, whether it was
Yes,
custom or not.
yes, it would. And it doesn't please me to see it either. But I know where I stand at the moment, and if we were to act out on those sort of feelings, we wouldn't come out the best.
Well, when it was just creatures they were doing, that was one thing. Now it's more sentient stuff. I've lost my taste. I think we'll just go have a look at the stores and head back to the ship, yes?
At which point you hear "sold" to the gentleman at the back, in which point you see the cloak figure kind of just like clapping his hands, and then ushers forward the two drow, who then walk up and rather roughly pick up the chained up elf figure and get a hold of the chains and hand them over to the cloaked individual. Heading off to one of the docking areas. Opposite way from where you guys are, similar kind of general direction where you guys have parked your ship. Back to the stalls, back to Elspeth.
Is there anything in particular on the stores, did you say? Sorry?
We'll go back to the stall makers. There's the three of them. It's one of them's a weapons dealer, one's a alchemist, and the other one's got just things that you can't identify from a distance, but probably worth looking at. Not quite sure what it is, but it's interesting. Maybe have a look. Wander over that, Elspeth. As you are thinking about, you are looking around, seeing various other crazy things floating around in this little island in the middle of the Astral Sea, and you hear a large bang from a nearby docking area.
I'm gonna
But
look towards the sound.
see like a plume of smoke appear. Heavy granulated black smoke just floating off where the bang came from.
I'm gonna leave and see if someone over there needs help.
As you're moving through various crowds, getting to where there's now like a big heavy wall of people, you kind of nudge people out the way to try and see what's going on, and you see what looks like a ship where the bang came from. Looks like an ordinary sailing ship, but with a extra sail at the bottom of it, and a large iron-like tube sticking out the front. Kind of similar to at a glance, is like that looks like a very upsized and overcompensatingly big version of what Copy pulled out and shot somebody with. Look over where the bang came from, and there's this covered in black suit, large, heavy set figure, about 7 foot tall, with a pipe sticking out, looking like a hippo, kind of with on two legs. Coughing up a little bit. We should be careful when I'm mixing this stuff up. And there's various folk just kind of like, we wanted to see blood and gore, not this daft kit.
I'm gonna cast
They'll kind of be
prestidigitation on him. Clean him up.
clean him up, and you see underneath all the suit is like a very finely done uniform, gold epaulets on the shoulders, his little monocle thing. What was that? He's like, oh, thank you, my dear.
You are welcome. Do I recognise the uniform at all?
Not really. You kind of get it's kind of militaristic, but the style and the fashion sense is like, it's like I have no idea who this is, but he looks like he's probably a soldier of some sort.
It looks like you might need to work on that a little bit more.
Maybe I shouldn't have this too close. And he pulls out the pipe from his mouth and puts it out, sticks it in his back pocket.
Yes.
Oh, I never caught your name.
My name's Elspeth. And you are?
With this like massive like hand to kind of like shake your hand to shake. Oh, Lieutenant Bombo.
Sorry, what was that?
Lieutenant Bombo.
Nice to meet you.
And again, he's like his hand just basically swallows yours as he's like shaking your hand. He's like not painfully rough, but that's why I was like very enthusiastic sort of motion with this big heavy arm, just like almost shakes you about. It's very thanks for like fixing my uniform. It's like it's an unfortunate hazard we have when messing around with powder.
I would assume so, although my colleagues that I'm travelling with is yet to have that issue.
He looks with an raised eyebrow and goes, "Someone you have has got powder of their own, not blown himself up with it." You get a very hearty nod. He goes, "They're not using it properly." Anyway, thank you for coming to my assistance. I hope you have a pleasant time here. I'm gonna give you like a salute and starts walking back towards his ship.
Okay, you too. Maybe we'll see each other again.
And he goes, "I hope so," and kind of starts walking back up his gangplank.
I'll go back to the boat.
As you're walking back, you can see a figure walking towards your ship.
Is it any of the group that I would anticipate it to be?
Make a perception check.
Also, is anyone else getting an echo, or is that just me?
There's a slight echo, but nothing major.
Must be my end, then I'll have a look. 13 on perception.
13. Humanoid shape, that's all about it is it's starting to take an approach the ship.
I'm gonna walk up as normal.
Back at the stalls with the rest of the gang. In particular, want to which vendor you want to visit first?
Does anybody need any armor or anything?
I'm good for armor.
Well, I'll have a look at the weapons store. What weapons are on display there?
Oh, there's swords and axes of various cultural stylings and sorts. And there's a few items on the kind of back end of the stall's walls that are more standout-ish.
I'll have a look at the regular looking ones first. Is there a short sword or a scimitar? No, short sword. Yeah, short sword.
There's a very fancy looking with the edge of it almost tailing off to the point where your eye kind of slips off it. Short sword sitting there.
How much is this? Pointing to, but not holding the short sword.
Who's in charge of the stall, who when she comes out she's got like kind of half the side shaved with like tribal markings down the side of her cheek. Sitting goes, that'll cost you about 700 gold pieces. or equivalent worth.
Do you mind if I pick it up to examine it?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Just
hold
don't try and run with it. I guarantee you won't get very far.
Oh, I won't. I pick it up and I hold it and I examine it.
Is a short sword of sharpness. Edge goes off to an almost like surgical point.
I sit back down gently, making sure not to slice the table, because as interesting as that would be, it's bad manners. Unfortunately, I can't afford that. And I doubt I'd be able to afford any of your even finer wares. My apologies for taking up your time.
I shrugs and goes, eh.
Yeah, I literally go back to the others and just go, nice short sword, too rich for my blood.
Cloud would have headed toward the alchemist table. Oh, still.
Over, and there's a turtle behind the store with a very kind of over the top pointy color changing wizard's hat. Like, well, hello there.
Nice to meet you, my friend. What sort of wares do you have here?
I have a collection of concoctions here that many people might find strange and unusual, others desirable and desirable. He kind of stutters a little bit as he speaks.
I have a bit of a hand on alchemicals and such. Always like to learn new things about different substances and such.
You're going to find a lot of interesting things here. Points out all the various different shaped bottles with all sorts of things floating around and various different shapes, sizes, colours, you name it, it's all here. Anything in particular you will be looking for, my friend?
Not usually looking for anything in particular, but what'd you say? Obviously, you're a man of education on this front. Uh, what would you point out for me?
Well, it will depend entirely on the line of work which you must associate with. For instance, if you are more of the athletic persuasion, who is a little bit more of the go around the way, I would say that maybe this here bottle of water braving. For if you're more of the exploring type, goes in another kind of bottles and goes, or this here potion of vitality, well in shape for any hard traveling and dangerous environments you might otherwise find yourself. of every possible concoction for every possible scenario. I just need a little more specification of what you may be looking for.
Maybe a some sort of concoction or something that could get me out of a tight situation.
And it just starts sitting there, kind of like tapping his hat, and every time he taps it, there's like a little ripple effect, and the colors change. I think I may have something for you. How does the potion of Etherealness sound like?
Sounds interesting. Always depends on the price, obviously.
Well, a full bottle would be quite substantial, but I will give you a nice one-time offer since you're so accommodating as a customer for a single-use vial, which is it shows the bottle, which is like say palm-sized, and it shows you like the vial, which is only about kind of size of his pinky. Was for a reduced cost for a reduced size. For 1 whole minute, this will let you just let slip on out of any bindings and slip into places that you should probably not be allowed to get into, but as long as you're not going about doing anything you shouldn't, and taps his nose a little bit. And besides, as soon as I sell this to you, I am not liable, and any pose at this little kind of contract thing is like, if you care to look at this before we kind of go any further with the excruciating details of all the unscrupulous deeds you might be involved in, though I'm not accusing you of.
No, of course not. You are a by the law merchant. Would never sell us something so devious, would now?
Not without insurance. Well, for 1 minute use of Etherealness, that potion will cost you around about 500 gold or equivalent worth.
Have you it's definitely a tempting offer, my friend. It's a good price. Let me we have a couple of other things to check out around here before we have to head off, but definitely swing back by. I'll definitely keep that in mind. You definitely piqued my interest there.
So I kind of a little half smile. He goes, "I'm glad to hear that, my friend." Also, see as you're sitting, kind of standing about in the crowd, you feel a very hard bump next to you, as if someone's just like abruptly stood forward and accidentally knocked you over.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could just kind of look, see who it was.
Look up, and there's this quite muscular-looking fella. Kind of got like a scaly pattern, kind of war paint on his face. Deep dark hair, kind of crimsonish color. Looks down at you and kind of goes, "I did not see you there. I almost squished you."
You would not be surprised how often that happens. Uh, sorry. You are a very large man.
Right. As he hears that comment, and as he starts walking away, then he abruptly kind of slows down and stops and goes, "Have we met before?"
I don't know. Have we? I'm new here.
He turns round and starts kind of looking at you, kind of intently. Stroking his like chin a little bit, and just that sort of like, "I'm sure I know you from very much so."
Do you have a name?
And then he goes, "My name is Magma Colder."
I don't think we've met before. Like I said, I haven't really been around here much. What's your business here?
Supply
you don't-
procurement.
Oh right. What like if it's not if I'm not being too nosy, what kind of stuff?
Weapons, potions, armor, supplies, riches, anything I can find.
Oh, you
No, kind of giving you a very intense look right now.
you big fighter?
Just perk up for a moment as if he's heard something and goes, I need to attend to something. It was you, Mr.
Oh me? Um
I introduced myself, you never introduced yours.
oh, Arthur Greenbottle.
He sits there and thinks for a second and goes, I seem to meet you, Arthur. And starts to walk away.
She's gonna wipe the sweat off.
At which point, as he's walking away into the crowd, I think the others conclude their business at the shops unless they've got other things they want to kind of procure.
Just wanted to go check that last stall with the random oddments you said or something that we couldn't see properly.
Yeah, it's a stall that from a distance you quite that had oddities and just assortment of items that didn't fit into either weapons or potion categories. This is more this is a case of this is the bizarre part.
Yeah, I want to check that out too.
Yeah.
There, and it looks like a small child sitting behind it. Hi.
Hello.
I got very. It says, what y'all looking for?
What y'all got?
That's pointing about and going, well, I got a little something here that has all sorts of weird and wonderful things, and she gets out like a little small music box and starts playing it. As he gets to the last bit, he goes, but to have that last little bit, you're gonna need to put some coin up. And she puts it down. Otherwise, oh, she pulls out a very fancy looking bowl, spins it around her finger. You feed a lot of good people with this thing. And she pulls her hair back as she's looking for a gun. Got all sorts of weird and wonderful things here. Look around, there's various rings, wands, assortment of what looks like be like mundane items and statues all over this place.
Do you praise items as well?
Taps her jaw and goes, yes.
Ah, interesting. It's always nice to know there's a praiser wherever you are. I don't have anything to be appraised, but it's always good to know. You never know when you might come across something.
Nods her head. Yeah. Handy.
What's the most interesting thing you have?
Oh, cheeky grin goes, define most interesting.
Something that would literally make people's jaws drop.
Right, that smell just turns into a look of absolute glee, and she just sits there and goes, well, my sister has one thing, though it might take a little bit more to make her part with it.
You have a sister?
Yeah, older sister. And she kind of like gets up from her stall for a second, picks up something and throws it into the back. Goes, "Sis." Your footsteps coming, and it's the person who was playing the music for when you first arrived. It's back, kind of short, brown hair, commoner outfit, very unassuming half elf girl.
Hello. Your sister tells me you have something so interesting it could make people's jaws physically drop?
It blushes a little bit and goes, "Kind of, maybe." At which point the little one kind of goes, "Come on, you make a couple coins playing it yourself. You should maybe sell it for someone else who make you use it. Come
I'm
on."
sure your sister's not just speaking of your smile.
At a point, what was a tiny little bit of a blush is now gone, just like full on, just like red cheeked. At which point the little sister starts to go, I think he likes you. Starts kind of doing that whole point thing. The little siblings normally do to wind up the older one. She's like, "Shut up."
I wouldn't want your sister to part with anything she finds dear, and going by the fact that she plays such wonderful music, whatever instrument she's playing must be very dear to her.
That's the thing. It changes form. You know, she'll play 1 minute it's one instrument, then it'll just go into something else, and then it go into another thing. And as she goes, as the little one starts going on a tangent, the older one just kind of like shushes and goes, "Right, you at the back." But sis is like, "No," or I'm telling mum, and she's like, silent for a second, and then goes, "Bye," rushes off into the back.
Well, don't worry. I don't think any of us three can play an instrument to save our lives. Is there anything else you think would be... Well, let's see. If it's not as interesting as to make people's jaws drop, do you have anything so interesting it might just daze people in wonderment?
One of these, and they pull like a gold lion statue.
Oh, they're pretty.
Or it's either that, or and they pull an obsidian horse and put it next to the lion.
Right, what would I have to roll to figure out what these are?
Arcana check.
Um, right. Wrong tab. There we go. Right, Arcana. Come on, big money, big money, big money. Nope.
Oh, pretty statues.
Yep. What do you
As far
think
as
of
you're
them?
concerned.
Yeah, I think they're very pretty statues. What do you think of them? Looking to Cloud and Toto.
Definitely look interesting.
Statues is statues, I guess.
So, how much are the statues?
She goes for the line. It's gonna cost you about 300 gold pieces. Horse probably about 200. 250, sorry, 250. She gonna start doing that whole like rubbing the eyes as if like she's had like a very long day.
Hello, Zuzu.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Right. Considering they're the second and third most prettiest thing at the store, but for that price, they must do something interesting.
The thing was, yeah, they do. Whatever animal that these things depict they become that animal for a brief period of time.
I looked at
Oh.
Toto and go, can you imagine riding a lion?
You this has piqued my interest. Would you take these items for? I have this really elegant, beautiful pearl necklace from the material plane. It was procured by devious means, and it is a pretty wondrous item. Yeah, I was looking for 700 gold pieces for it, but I'll happily swap it for these two statues. What do you say?
Alex and goes, hang on. And she pulls out like a small ebony fly as well and puts it next to the three figures and goes, how's that?
Perfect. You may take this necklace from me. I'm sad to lose it, but you can take it.
I'll kind of like bag out and just starts putting it's like a cloth bag, just puts all three figures in it, wraps them all up nice and just hands them over to you and goes, necklace, and looks at it and then looks at it kind of weirdly and goes a face before she puts it into the kind of little drawer thing that she's got at the side.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that too near your face. I want to give it a wash first.
I tried
But
disinfecting it with prestidigitation. You'll want to do more than give it a wash.
Cloud just kept his distance from it.
pleasure doing business with you.
We've got plenty of other weird and wonderful things that come through here.
So I see all the weird, and I only see one wonderful looking at her again.
Says the man with 8 charisma.
Damn right!
I'm getting the sense that okay, you're trying a little bit too hard here and is now like just sinking into the back of her chair.
Oh dear.
I've got one more question. Do you have anything else that might, like these statues, when activated, would cause like a big surprise? Something that would be good for distraction or causing a lot of chaos in a short space of time, something like that.
Thinks for a moment and kind of pulls out what looks like a necklace with little multicolored marbles on it. Well, if you're looking for just like, oh, look over here, these might do.
I was looking for more controlled chaos.
Well, these aren't the hippo guys things where they kind of just go, whoa, shit, no. And she kind of like goes, in fact, you know what? Seeing as how you're so generous, she pulls one off and goes, demonstration. Chucks one off into the crowd and goes, if anyone asks, it's one of you who done this. Throws
Just
it.
looking at Toto. Yep.
Bubble lands in the crowd. Next thing you know, it's like a combination of dancing lights and thaumaturgy just causing like a lot of like crackling noises, and it's just like a little pyrotechnic display just goes. All these kind of like raggedy looking kind of scum and villainy types all turning in, going, "Holy shit!" And it's like a bright, multicolored firework display happens. Elspeth can see it in the distance, going, "What the hell's going on over there?" With like the same pyrotechnics going off.
Just some EDM music in the background.
Actually, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's pretty nice. How if the price is right, I'll take it off your hands.
Necklace before uses left 100 gold pieces.
75.
Persuasion check. Not budging. She just kind of folds her arms and kind of goes to that whole cross look.
Yeah, all right. We might die tomorrow, so yeah, fuck it. 100 gold pieces. I'll slam it on the table.
It looks as if like, no need to be rude. Takes the gold.
I think I'm gonna end my business there. Cloud, you
Yeah, I've been wondering about a peculiar item, but I haven't really had much time to look for it. I know a few wizards primarily have a ability to conjure a creature. Find familiar, I think the spell is. Would you have a item that could do the same thing or such?
Like what you mean like this, and she pulls it like a small little whistle thing, blows it. There's no noise, but then a few seconds later, there's a little poof on the table, and you see like this cat-like creature with wings.
Exactly. What sort of price would you be looking for?
Oh, it depends on the quality of the whistle.
Different qualities, do different things? How do you mean?
Well, as you say, wizards can do the whole find familiar thing and get a pet. It just starts kind of stroking the cat. Of a certain category, it doesn't really matter to them. Whereas with these whistle things, they're made for only. And she kind of looks at the bottom of it and goes, in gameplay terms, it's 1/4. CR is the one that she's got. The other one she's got is like a 1/8, and the other one's like a 1 CR, which is going to go like a little gold kind of trim to it. And the creature that falls within these sort of like categories, below this, you can pull it out.
And what sort of prices are you looking for each?
From top to bottom, 300, 200, 100.
So that's 300 for the CR1.
Yeah.
2 for the, what is it, the quarter, and 100 for the 8.
It's
I might have buggered the math measurements, but again, it goes from 300 for one, a half would be 200, 100 for the quarter, and then the eighth one's
Right.
like 50 gold, I would say.
Right, so that would be such and such. Brain work. Could you use the high whistle to summon a lower group creature, or would it only call forth the things in certain category?
Shrugs and goes, I haven't tried it myself. I will just use this one for this little fella, and she kind of just like tickles underneath the chin of the cat. Well, she doesn't know, but you probably could.
Cloud would put rummage through his bag a little bit and pull out the wand of shocking grasp. What would you give me for this in exchange, or so?
A bit of the colour drain out of her face, and goes, sorry, I'm not going to take that.
What about a few of these? And he'll put a couple of young red dragon scales down.
Looks at it and goes, oh, Goes out and gets the one half CR. Whistle and goes, how about that?
The half CR for a couple of scales. I think that's a fair deal.
As you make the exchange, you can hear the very heavy footsteps. He goes, very interesting, you have dragon scales with you. Turn round, and the gentleman that Toto was speaking to has come back.
Yes, it's just a deal I did with someone else a little ways back. Nothing special. I didn't ask where they got them, as business goes.
I've met your companion Arthur over here. Who would you might be, sir?
My name is Silver. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nodding goes, Well, I hope business finds good fortune with you today, and whatever. And he kind of shrugs off and just waves as he walks by. Girl behind the counter is kind of just like completely receded into her chair at the sight of this dude as he walks by.
After Cloud sort of washes him, walks away a little bit, he'll sort of put the dragon scales on the table for the girl, lean in to pick up the whistle, but also whisper to the girl, may I ask, do you know who that gentleman is or such?
That's Magmagar. He's a bit of a hard ass around here. Showed up not that long ago. Every now and again, pops by for certain items and things. He comes with a couple other associates, but I haven't seen any of them kicking about today. While we're talking about that, we're going to jump back over to Elspeth, still following the humanoid dude heading back towards the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I stop and just kind of look at it from a nearby cargo crate, just leaning on it, looking at it.
I'm going to try to sneak up on him.
Self check, please.
Oh god.
Yeah, almost right up to where they are without being noticed, and then as soon as you get to a certain point, you step on something, it just goes crunch. You stiffen up a bit as if like there's someone behind me.
Yeah, hello, is
If I re-
there something you find interesting about the ship?
At this point, they're kind of moving their hands slightly towards their hip and going, nothing, darling. I just kind of found it kind of an odd thing.
What, a ship in a port?
It looks a bit more kind of cobbled together, and she kind of points out some bits that are obviously been refit or modifications to the original ship's outline.
Well, we can't always afford to repair the ship, but we do our best.
When the hand comes away from the hip and goes, fair enough. Just thought it was interesting. I'll be leaving now. And starts walking away.
I'm going to call out to them and go, I'm Elspeth, by the way. Do you have a name?
No answer. She keeps walking.
I will just make a mental picture in my head of her or him.
There's very little activity in the nearby port, although you can see Jehote coming out with a hood up and his short thing kind of the same. You're ready to head off soon.
We are just waiting for our fellows to return.
If they don't come soon, try to communicate and get them back here, because the more time we spend here, the greater likelihood of danger.
I will give them a few more moments and contact them if they're not back by then.
Of approval, and then walks away.
And I will give them 10 minutes before casting message onto Cloud and going, Jeff is getting restless. Might want to make your way back.
Cloud just sort of replies with nothing new there, but we'll be along in just a moment. We're just finishing up business and we'll be back. There are a few unsavory characters that we might not want to hang around for.
I'll cast message and go, yes, there was one staring at the ship earlier.
Okay, won't be long.
As you guys are still in the market kind of area next to the raised platform on the stage, there's a bit of a weird atmosphere bringing up as you can hear the kind of weird, not heavy footsteps, but it's almost as if something sharp's hitting the ground, like chink, 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 hanging behind you, or somewhere over your shoulders.
Before Cloud heads off from the stall, he'll say, "That's good." He'll put the whistle back down and hand her another 2 dragon scales and say, "I'll take the higher one." And grab the CR1, and then catch up with the other guys and see what's chinking behind us.
Oh, thank you. And she takes it and she swaps the whistle over. Come back anything.
Have a good day. I think we, on our way back, obviously we'll have a look at whatever's this chinking behind around the corner is, as Cloud sort of heads over to the alchemist stall.
As you look over, you see this horrific looking spider like creature with an eel like neck with fur going down the back of its head, from its head to its torso, claw like arms, and very, very sharp teeth in a very heavy set jaw. Kind of as its long kind of like spider like legs hit the ground, it's like something like metal hitting on metal, just like chink chink chink. And a good bit when it's not slouching, about 8 foot tall. Going behind it is as its claws got like a row of chain round it. Behind it is about 20 people on chains getting led through the crowd. What's the noise?
I want to get out of here, mate. This place is fucked up.
Yes. Cloud sort of pulls up his hood, heads over to the alchemist stall. Good evening, my friend. I've made my decision on what I was looking for.
Yeah. What would you like?
Your offer earlier was very tempting, but I'll have to refuse that. But if by any
Face
chance
some
you've got
color.
any,
Oh,
I'm sorry, but if you've got anything along the lines of fire resistance or psychic resistance potions, anything along that line, or if possible you've just got the ingredients for it. Like I say, I'm a bit of deft hand at brewing my own stuff.
and then goes. I've got resistance potions, sure. And he gets out this little. He goes into a little nearby drawer, starts going through things. Like, not this one, not that one. Pulls the third one out. He was like, this starts pulling out a bunch of items. He's like, here's fire, here's cold, and he goes, what else I got here? I don't know about psychic mumbo jumbo, but I can give you something that might work for that. What I can definitely give you is the potions of the fire resistance and cold.
How many fire ones do you have?
Back to his drawer and goes, I got 5.
And what sort of price are you doing for them?
Well, for you, my good friend, it's a group discount. I would say maybe 1,000 for the lot.
And what about this maybe psychic?
He pulls out this kind of weird collection of moss, couple dead beetles, and weird plant roots, and goes, I've been told this collection here, once mixed with a regular, healing potion of of a particular potency, can make someone's mind untouchable to. He starts tapping his skull, like, you know. But that's all I've heard. I've not had a chance to actually test it yet.
So if it's a maybe potion, what's the maybe price?
That being the thing, my friend, it's all the component pieces are very rare, and it might be in the region of around about 500 gold pieces just for the ingredients, and then you need to get the particular potency of the healing potion, whatever that might be. I've not been informed of that. I suspect it'll be pretty intense.
Cloud will put a vial of oil of target and a D8 poison vial on the table. What did you? How much would this exchange for?
Towards what, the fire resistance or the.
Fire resistance.
Again, he starts tapping the hat, and the hat keeps changing colors. How about a discount of about 300? So 700 for all 5 of these.
I'll throw in maybe. Cloud will put down. He'll put down the wand of shock and grasp again. See if he's interested. And what was it? His final dragon scale.
Crimson Horse a little bit, goes, Lowest I can go for all this, even with exchanges, is about 500, my friend. With all this.
That's fair enough. Cloud will pull out 200 gold and 300 gold's worth of jewels. Well, he'll pull out 300 gold's worth of jewels and say, for jewels, how about you knock off an extra 50 gold? Depending on where you sell it, you can get a bit of better price.
Vision check. Shakes his head, going, price the price, my friend.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You've done me good. It's always worth a try, you know. But thank you very much. And he'll put down the 200 gold and 300 jewels.
Takes all this gold and jewels, and then hands you over the 5 potions in a little kind of potion rack. Hey, pleasure doing business with you, my friend.
And you, if we hopefully we'll meet again sometime.
I hope so. You made a friend of me, my boy, and kind of just waves as you start walking away.
Do you have any other items you'd be willing to trade? Look at Cloud as we're moving away from the stall.
How do you mean?
I noticed a very fine short sword at the armory, and, well, it was too rich for me. But if you'd be willing to but going by the fact they're a trade system, if you have something that they might accept for it, it's worth a look. Heck, I think you might even find it interesting.
I'm quite happy with what I've got at the minute, but for you, I could definitely do you a loan.
I'll put in half on that loan if you want.
What would the interest rates be for the both of you beforehand?
Well, we're going on a bit of a suicide mission, so if we survive and how well you do, that would sway us either way, I think. Nudging Toto a little bit with a cheeky grin.
Yep, you show us what you're made of, and maybe we can sort out a good.
Very well, but if I have to resurrect either of you, you knock 300 off for the price of the diamond to bring you back, okay?
As I've already got my own diamond, I think I'm good.
That okay with you, Toto?
150. We got halves on the dot.
How much is it that you needed?
Well, they said 700, but there's a chance to talk them down. I doubt I could do it, but I'm sure one of you two probably could. You seem more versatile in talking to people than me.
If we want to just get the fuck out of it, I'll put up the 350 right now.
How much did you want? Sorry, I missed that a little bit.
I said it was 700, but could always try and barter them down. Could always see about asking them
Okay.
for 350. Who knows? Might work.
Come on then, let's have a look. And Cloud will head over there and have a look and get Azir to point out the sword.
Yeah, I point out the short sword of sharpness.
Point out, install that.
Hello, my dear. You wanted to have a look at this sword?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you want
What sort of price are you looking for?
100 gold pieces.
$700.
Yes. You can roll their eye back going,
Pulls out one of the two red drag. Well, before he pulls it out, he's gonna have a look, see if he can see that bloke who was sniffing around earlier first.
and tell.
Can't tell. Cloud will pull out one of the two red dragon horns he's got. What sort of deal could you do for this?
And go, take about 200 off the price.
Come now, it's very good. How about 250? How about you do the sword at 600 with the horn thrown in, and nice little deal done.
Goes, "Do you have money?" Gets a sheath, puts the sword in it. With the other hand stretched out for the gold in the horn.
Alright, how's that work? Sorry, my head's gone funny now.
Yeah,
I can't
in
add.
fact, you actually increased the price by saying.
Did I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why she's kind of like, okay, it's your money. You wanna
Sorry,
hand
man,
over
I
that?
didn't mean that. I can't fucking add today.
Hang on. I think what Cloud was trying to do, because Chaz is kind of tired, and I'm guessing that's it. I think Cloud was trying to say, bring the sword down to 300, then add, then with the dragon horn on top. Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah,
or-
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. I just can't. For some weird reason, I just couldn't add. For some weird reason, yeah. Drop it to 400 and the horn on top, and we've got the deal.
And goes 450 the horn.
Deal. Cloud will hand over the horn. Gesture for Toto to hand over the 350, and he'll give a 100. Another 100 over.
Is that deal done?
And I assume after that, if anything else, we're heading back to the ship.
The slave auction had concluded just as the Nyogi arrived, and you can hear a bit of a ruckus kind of building up in the crowd as apparently the Nyogi's not happy the fact that he's just brought like a whole like pallets worth of slaves just to get told auction's over.
I think this is a good opportunity for us to leave.
I believe so. Let's go.
Also, thank you. At least this way I know if I do have to fight anything in close combat, I'm not going to be completely unprepared.
Can we see if we can buy the slaves for a real cheap price? I mean, the auction's over and he's got to sell them.
You do not want to deal with them.
We do not want to buy slaves.
Do you want to go up to the Nyogi? You got a window of opportunity here. It's about to close.
I'm gonna do it.
Right, what would we have to do to try and stop him?
What would you think you need to do? Toto's ready, just like, I'm gonna go talk to this big ugly motherfucking spider thing. Start strolling off.
Toto, stop. It's more likely to eat you than sell you something.
It's got to sell them, and the auction's closed. If I can buy them, I can free them.
With what? You don't have any gold left.
I've got gold left.
Do the math. You don't have much, and I doubt you'll be able to afford their prices. Come on,
If I,
let's
if
go.
I, if I can,
And this thing's moving about.
I'm going. I'm going.
This thing's 8 foot tall when it stretches up the way, and it hears you kind of walking up to it, and it turns around, just like leans down with this eel-like neck, and just goes, yes.
Look, I didn't get an opportunity to purchase any anything that was on auction here. I also arrived late. I see you arrived late. You want to get rid of these? I'll take some off
It
you.
just starts growling at you. Like, it looks like you kind of it's darting its head back and forth as you talk.
You want to sell some of these? I'm buying. You just cut the shit. What do you want for?
And it just tugs on the chain a little bit, so all the slaves kind of walk over. It waves its hand at it. 250 per slave.
How many has he got?
20.
So 5,000 gold in total.
I tell you what, look, I'm running late. The auction's closed. How about 300 for two, and we'll call it a day. You know, you take a couple off your hands, job done, and I'll be out.
Taps its jaws just like inches from your face, like hush. Make a persuasion check.
While Toto's doing that, is there just the one Nyogi there and 20 chained up?
Make a perception check. It agrees reluctantly and is actually looking as if it's about to consider just eating you right there. It's like, okay, take two. It's just towards the group.
That's some good business you done there.
Toto is going to pick out the slaves. Cloud, as you're looking about, you see this is like some bigger class of Nyogi, but the more you look about, you can see there's several of them, kind of like at various points of elevation in the marketplace. A lot smaller and more probably likely to get squished if you were to decide to, okay, let's do this, but there is an increasing number of them.
Yeah, knowing there's a lot of them, Cloud's not going to do what he was hoping to do, and just he's a little bit annoyed with Toto, and he's just like wanting to leave now.
Yeah, Toto's just gonna pick the two healthiest looking, and then okay, we're on our way.
You pick two. And we've got two slaves coming with you. As the Nyogi takes the rest and starts wandering off. But again, with those very heavy clunks of like dink dink as its legs start kind of going against the metal girdering that's underneath its feet. Guys end up at the ship about 2 minutes later.
While these guys were shopping, what was Copy doing at this around?
Copy was looking as if like I could sneak about and find some shit, but was feeling a bit poorly, so had to go below deck.
Was
Yeah.
Elspeth around?
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth was wandering around doing other things.
No, she was on the boat for most of it. She only popped off. to
For
see
most
what
of
I
it,
was
yeah, but
doing.
you went for a wander in between.
If Elspeth is around, like below deck, and there's no one else is around, I want to sneak up behind her to have a quick chat.
Oh, if all you want to do is talk, you can talk. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna sneak up behind her and then talk.
Oh, make a stealth check then, please.
Come on, first of the night. Oh god, just
Only just
Uh,
managing to get up close when Elspeth realizes, like, okay, there's something behind me, turn around and there's a copy in her face.
Okay, so basically, once I approach her from behind, I'll just gonna whisper into your ears. You say that you can see a lot of you in me when you were young. You left, but were you left by the person who who was meant to love you and protect you, to live with a priest who sold you for money? I feel you say that, but we're not really alike.
She's gonna go, A, do not do that. I'm liable to fund a wave if people creep up on me. So unless you want to get blasted 10 feet away from me with lightning, I would suggest you do not creep up. I think Scott's mic is picking me up, potentially, because all I can hear is myself talking.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
And she'll go, B, the situations we're in may have been different, but they led to the same attitude. So, I was not given away to a priest who then tried to sell me. However, my parents cared so little about me that at a day old, they just handed me over to a stranger.
Then why do you fight for others?
Because the others...
If you spend your whole life, like me, surviving on your own, why do you fight for them?
Because they're not... They didn't give me away. They've done nothing but try to look out for me. So if they're going to look out for me, I'll damn well look out for them. That's how that works. That's how you survive.
No, you survive on your own. You can only trust yourself in this world. No one else except you.
I have tried surviving on my own, and I have learnt that it is very difficult. Maybe you're better at it than I was, but I might not have gone through what you did as a child, but as an adult, I will pretty much trade you anything that you've been through as an adult for what I've been through. So and I would rather be with a group of people that will look out for me than be by myself and be beaten, bruised. Men that think they can do what they like to you, and can because they're stronger than you. I would rather be with this group of people because they're not like that and they will look out for me, and I will do my best to look out for them because they're protecting me.
Would you die for them?
Yes.
Would you die for me?
Yes, because I think you'd look out for me as well. I think you act hard on the outside, but you really want someone to look out for you. So yes, I would. If this was you that we were going for and not Visca, I would still be going.
I'll walk away.
As she walks away, I'll shout out, please do not sneak up on me. Thunder Wave has become an instinct for when people get too close to me, and I'm not expecting it. So I am warning you, you do it again, I'm liable to blast you.
Yeah.
That is that.
And then I'll spend the rest of the time in my room.
I will once again send a message to Cloud and go, are you coming back soon? The children are getting restless.
We're just coming around the corner. Yeah. Wait until we get there.
Oh, I think Scott's mic might be dead. He heard me moaning about it.
His mate was like, oh, that woman's having a go at me. Well, fuck you then. I'm turning on.
No, I can see the light coming up, but you are not making sound. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset your microphone.
The thing is, I think if Scott does anything to his mic, it just decides to stop working for like half an hour. Nope, still nothing, Scott.
We'll apologise for taking so long. It's like scanning through every bit of items I've got stuffed in a bloody bag, handy bag.
I'm going to
I
take this
feel-
opportunity to duck out for a second. I'll be right back.
I feel at this point Scott shouldn't stop buying some miniatures for a period of time and buy himself a good.
He's an addict. He can't help it.
I'm the same with dice. I am seriously addicted to dice.
Yeah, what
It's
Scott
more, I think, more of a PC issue. The mic itself
we
is
go.
fine.
welcome back, and what you need to do is just save up about 2 weeks worth of mini buying so that you can buy yourself a decent PC.
Har. Okay. My addiction's not that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone's back on board.
Yeah.
Plus 2 extra passengers now.
Yeah, Elizabeth just sees us come around the corner and there's Cloud, they're there, and then there's Toto with 2 slaves in tow, and Cloud sort of rubbing his brow a little bit like, what the fuck, what the fuck.
Explain total. You've got 2 slaves.
Sam's just stepped away for a
Oh yeah,
second.
he's away. He's away. Yeah, I just.
So does Elizabeth say anything?
Do I want to ask why we have 2 extra people on a suicide mission that do not look prepared for a suicide mission?
Cloud just sort of points at Toto and was like, he felt sorry for slaves that were going to be taken by this very big, furry, spidery thingy with scary thing.
And who was the adult in that situation?
I sort of tried to be, but at the same time, the big spider thing had a lot of friends. Blame him, and he's just trying to point at Toto.
I do not regret my decision for buying these slaves, and you cannot change my mind.
Well, maybe you will change your mind when they end up coming on this mission and potentially die. They may have been safer where they were.
Listen. I saved 2 slaves today. What did you do today?
Met a man with a gun and saw someone creeping up on the boat. Are the slaves still chained up, by the way?
No,
I've
I'll
got
take the chains
manacles.
off. I'll take them off as soon as we get on the boat.
I'll come onto the deck and I'll see the 2 extra people. Like, oh, we're getting new companions.
I'll take full responsibility for them, but I couldn't just leave, a whole bunch of slaves there. I just couldn't do it.
Slaves?
They were
What do you mean?
slaves. I bought them and I'm freeing them.
You did what?
I bought these 2, and then now I'm gonna free them once we get them somewhere safe.
I'll be right in Toto's face. Make sure you do release them.
They were slaves. If I could have bought all of them, I would have bought all of them. I could only afford 2, and that's the best I could do. I couldn't even afford the 2. I had to really provoke this evil-looking spider thing to get them. I've got them, and I want to free them. No matter how many
This,
people we save on that gift ship, I will always have saved 2 extra. And I do not regret this decision.
this spider thing, where did they go?
No. Let's not start a fight in a random town in the Astral Sea.
It won't be a
Especially
fight.
It's a being you
I'm just
can't
going to go
handle.
kill him.
No, you're not. There is not just it. There are many, or I would have done something myself. Now go sit in your corner. We'll be leaving.
He's not even the only slaver. The whole place is full of slavers. We wouldn't make it out here alive. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought these 2. I'd have just killed the slave.
If we manage to survive what we're going to do, we will let as many people know about this place as possible, and potentially they can get here and sort it. But we are too small a group to take on a whole town. Sometimes it's the little battles that need to be won, and the bigger battles left for other people.
I'll scream and fire like 2 shots outside the ship.
Elsewhere's just gonna hug her. Not while she's shooting her gun. As soon as she's finished shooting her gun, she's just gonna pull her into a hug. And refuse
Fire
to
off
let
your
go.
gun.
Sorry, Scott, I didn't hear that.
Just going to fire off your gun in this port.
Yeah.
Right.
Cloud's on a wave at the dockhands, untie us, and go, Jeff, time to go.
Point. Jehote signals the dock cancel on high ups. The ramp goes up, and you guys start to move away from this bizarre stop highway stop off point in the middle of the Astral Sea, and continue on your way.
I'll go downstairs to my room.
Okay. As you guys
Just before I walk away, I'll kind of over my shoulder tell Toto, they survive or you die. Remember this.
Fuck off. That was Toto, not me. By the way.
I'm just tells us all to fuck off.
I fully expected that.
While we're back flying on the ship, can Elspeth take some time to draw the person she saw looking at the boat in her book, so she's got a reference of them?
Yeah, you can start sketching out the likeness, and it was kind of hard to tell because they had the hood up exactly what their facial features like, but you got a good enough look to kind of like, you can narrow it down if you ever saw them in a crowd again.
Cloud's gonna go over to Toto and maybe have a chat with his new friends.
Yeah.
They're in like a separate cabin, just like on their own right now, just because stay here for now and just like out the road, shut door.
Are they human or what?
One's human, the other one's half elf.
Cloud just sort of nudges Toto forward, like, you got into this mess. You off you trot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go into the room and speak to him. Just want to say, that I know this isn't how it normally goes down, but I didn't buy you for you to be my slaves. I want to get you somewhere safe, and I want to let you guys go. I want to free you. I don't want you to work for me.
As you're
Sorry.
talking, they're shrinking into the corner of the room, just like post-traumatic stress shit going on right now because they're finally out of the influence of the Niyogi, and they're just like, we're no longer complacent. It was like, oh shit, that was horrible.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna hurt you. Nobody here's gonna hurt you. I just want you to be safe. I'll get you some food, something to drink. You can take this, and I'll hand them my copy of Tusk Love. I'll say it's. I've been told it's a good read, although my reading skills are very limited. But give you something to do, and I'm really sorry about what you've been through, and I wanna make it right for you. So I'll come back and check on you once you had a little time. Just stay here, I guess.
Both kind of just look at one another and just nod.
I turn back to Cloud and I'll just say, I think they're a bit shaken up, so it's probably best to just leave them for a bit.
That is true. And Cloud will sort of just look at them and go, we'll get you some food and water, as he says, and if you need anything, just say. And Cloud will head off with Toto to get some food and some basic rations for them.
I do want to say to Cloud, I just, while we're getting the stuff, I'll say, I'm sorry I went off on my own. Well, yeah, against you guys' judgment, but I just couldn't. I couldn't just let them be taken away by them things. I had to save somebody. And I mean, I know we're not going to the safest place, but I mean, surely a couple of days' freedom's better than a lifetime of slavery.
Well, I don't know. I've thankfully never been in their position, but I've known many who's gone into their position and I've never seen them again. So I don't know. I also wish I could have helped, but I also understand the fact that like you say, we are not going to the safest place, and if you think a few days of being on a ship is good enough as freedom, then that is understandable. But I don't know.
I mean, it's just weighing up the options, a lifetime of beatings and whatever else they're subjected to, or a couple of days of, on a ship being fed, watered by people that aren't going to abuse you. Then I'd take that any day.
You have a point. Just next time, maybe not walk straight up to the big ass spider thing that looked like it was going to eat you. Like
Prison
you
rules,
would
man.
like,
Prison rules.
yeah, but you, in comparison to that thing, I'm pretty sure it has bigger shits than you.
You're probably right. Next time I'll assess the situation a little better.
And obviously we couldn't jeopardize Azir. He owes us.
That's true.
We have to work out a good interest rate for him.
Oh yeah. I'm taking him to the cleaners.
That's my boy.
All right.
A period of travel goes by. The former slaves get a bit of a long rest and are now starting to look more healthy. Check to see if they see anything in the Astral Sea. In their downtime.
One evening when it's quiet and everyone's gone to bed, Elspeth is just going to sit on the deck, look out to sea, and just start singing to herself. And I will link the song that she sings. Because I can't play it.
Azir is going to use some time to attune to his new sword and just try and figure out what the command word to make it light up is.
Was that sorry?
Yeah, Aziz is going to attune to the the short sword of sharpness, and he's going to set the command word for it to shed the 10 feet of dim light to illuminate. So basically, light up in primordial.
As you all are traveling, and Jehoiam mentions to someone in the passing, going, "There's that Neogi ship again," and they look out, and there's a small one, a sort of parallel course to you guys, just kind of floating about in the Astral Sea.
Are we on a course that they normally tend to follow?
Bugs doesn't know the answer. He's like, their main routes, they just come and go as they please.
Well, other than them, is there anything else we should be aware of that Salesley sees?
Lots of weird and terrible things float around in these seas.
Understood.
As you guys are near enough approaching the end of your little trip, who's currently up on top deck?
Me.
I'll be up in the crow's nest once again to keep an eye out.
Cloud will be about as well.
If you'd like to, all three of you like to make perception checks, please. Or anything?
That is not perception, ignore me. That one is.
Just can't roll today.
Tell me about it.
Elspeth notices that very familiar and alien-looking shape slowly start to turn and start to move toward the ship.
So is that the slavey ship thing coming our way?
Appears to be moving in this direction.
I'll call out to Gift Dude and go, I believe that ship that has been running alongside us for a while is coming in this direction.
Have to kind of get ready on the controls, like get within range. I'll have to do evasive maneuvers and hopefully get rid of them. Because if they draw attention towards the demi plane once we get to the entrance, that could complicate matters. Can you tell if they're coming for hostile intent or if they're just moving in this direction?
Can I tell?
With that perception check, you can't tell.
I do not know. They have just come in this, changed for in this direction.
Elspeth can relay that to the rest of the party if she wishes. What's happening?
Yeah. I will assume the dudes on deck have heard me anyway. I wasn't whispering to him, I was actually shouting out to him, so I will assume they have heard me.
I will use the bangle of telepathy to give Toto a shout and tell him to get everybody ready just in case.
I shout down, is there a way to make us invisible?
Maybe, not now.
Maybe.
Once I hear from Cloud, I'll just go and bang on the door that Copy's staying in.
Yes,
Trouble.
coming. I'll come up.
And you can see it starting to come in a more clearer shape now. Is that the ship starting to approach?
What would I need to do to try and figure out whether it's coming with hostile intent or not?
Check with disadvantage.
Alright. Right, this is where I need double net 20s. Fuck.
No idea.
Would we as a party, because I'm guessing we would have spoken a little bit here and there, would we know that's like a slaver ship or something?
Various observations you would have pieced together that's Nyogi ship, as mentioned before. Nyogi, big ugly looking spider things that take people as slaves.
I'm guessing the Bardic Inspiration dice has run out now, correct?
And if you want to use it, but next, it was just kept.
Yep, what dice type is it?
8, I
Echo.
think.
Which are currently inspiration dice.
Oh, mine's a 1d8, but that wasn't given by me. That would have been given by you, so I don't know if you've got different as a DM.
I'll say it's a D4 just because it was the.
Oh, what you mean the inspiration you gave us all?
At
Yeah.
the very start, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that just gives you advantage.
I thought it was actually like it was like an inspiration die of some sort. It would give you
I've-
advantage and it's a straight roll
Yeah.
then. That.
Then no worries, I'll keep the inspiration. Because I thought it was like a weird form of Bardic Inspiration from the orcs that you were giving. But no worries.
Yeah, well, obviously that's just how I've always sort of known it. If it's different, then it's different. Then
Yeah,
but
if it's DM straight game inspiration, then it's advantage on a roll. But yeah, no worries.
I thought
Can
that's how it
always
worked
save it.
when someone mentioned the dice. I'm like, did I get it wrong? But
Yeah, it's the way you described it to, because you gave it to us from their performance. I thought, oh, sounds like you're giving us just a weird form of bardic inspiration, and I was like, cool.
If it was a weird form of bardic inspiration, it would have been gone after a minute, so.
Yeah, that's why I asked. No worries. At least we understand now.
the direction, not quite sure if it's coming in hostile intent or not. But
And is this ship significantly bigger than ours?
hard to tell at distance, but you can tell it's bigger than yours. How much bigger? Not quite sure yet. Remember, the party seen two of them. One was big, even at distance, and the other one was smaller. Right now, you can't tell which one this one is.
I think we need to either run or fight. I don't think we can fight them, so we need to run. I say we get everyone below deck, and only the gits stay at the top to navigate us away from here as soon as possible.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say Toto and you copy should be on the ballistas, ready just in case, and we prepare for the worst. The gift can try and maneuver us the best he can, but I think we should be ready for if they do catch us.
Okay. Okay.
And plus, Maka did say she wanted a ship.
Okay. let's get into position, I guess.
So party taking Soto and Copier on the ballistas, whereas everyone else wanting to be.
I'll still be up in the crow's nest because it's easy enough for me to jump down if something does get on board.
I'll stand near the GIF and also go, well, just in case this ends up in a fight, here, Cloud, and cast Shield of Faith on him.
It's only 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm all shiny. Cloud will probably be probably in the middle of the ship somewhere, just so he can get to every location. But he'll probably try and hide behind the railing or the masts or something, just in case.
Cool. Preparing yourself for the worst. Even Johoti is kind of ideas like, if I need to, I'll jump out the chair. But also need to fly this thing so we don't just go drifting off into the middle of nowhere. It's becoming apparent this thing, even though it is the smaller of the two ships that you've seen that are Nogi design, it's approaching and it looks very, very menacing with the spider-like arm appendages that are coming out of it.
I'll have a ballista ready. Fuck me, that's terrifying.
No, that is awesome.
Oh, that's fucking
Isn't it?
terrifying, man.
I'm not sure which class of ship is meant to be the bigger or the smaller one, so I'm just only using this as a reference point because I think that is both creepy and thing.
Yeah. What class of ship is it? If you give me the two classes, I might be able to tell you which one's the bigger one.
By just like image grabs off of Google right now, I'll get.
I'm pretty sure that's the
classes.
bigger one, but like you said,
Matter.
that
It's
is awesome.
only for image.
It's over the image, but I'm just again, I'll sort that shit later for like proper classification in case you do bump into them again, if you don't all die. Yeah.
Just
Think that, but
Jeff.
scaled to still bigger than your ship, but smaller than the other one you've seen.
Jeff, does that need someone like you to pilot it?
Looking as if like I have no idea. Always kept a distance from those things, or only buy or sell slaves to them.
Understood. God, that's one.
The closer you can see the armatures starting to flex a little bit in a sort of like really sinister manner.
Oh, God, that's just creepy. Ooh. That's something. Just check.
You're pretty much almost side on to your ship.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Does it look like it's actually going to like sort of ram us or grab us or
It looks like
like
it's trying.
beelining for?
It looks like it's trying to level inside with his.
So the big sort of well, not tentacle, but the big leggy parts on the front aren't facing us.
They're currently pointed. Most of them are pointed forward, apart from the ones on your port side, which is next. They're starting to turn just ever so slightly towards you.
How to
Cloud.
roll a great lump.
Cloud will get Toto's attention and maybe like point out sort of like maybe he's a bit freaked out by it, but maybe like the joints of it, where you'd say like maybe the elbow of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toto will just kind of take aim on right on it, like where Cloud's pointing.
As you think name, you can see a boarding ramp thing start to extend. Lower down to almost attaching onto the ship, and clamps on.
Fire.
Just a quick reminder: the ballistas, they're on either side, right?
Front and back, but with enough swivel room to go shoot side on if they want.
Okay. When Toto fires, I'll fire as well.
Are you going to fire? Yes or no?
Can I try and call out first and go, are you friendly, or is this something we should be concerned about? Because right now you're about to be shot upon. If you're coming in friendly intentions, I would advise you let us know.
A moment of silence. A very familiar one-horned tiefling sticks his head out and goes, "Gotchas!" Looking about, seeing you guys all like almost like red alert stations. He's like, "Oh yeah, I went for a walk. Things happened." And he points back towards the ship and goes, "There's some really freaky shit in here. You might want to come and look."
And you,
Did you buy a ship?
didn't you think it was an idea to tell anybody that you left the ship? We thought you were sleeping this whole time.
We parked somewhere. I went for a walk. Seen some weird stuff. Thought I'd have a follow, and kind of. You're better off coming up here when it's easier to explain.
I'm gonna go up.
Yeah, same with Cloud.
I'm gonna
After
keep,
sheathing his dagger.
I'm gonna keep Shield of Faith up though.
Cloud will go ahead of Elsbeth then.
Oh, Elspeth's
Do
going.
either
Cloud's
of-
going.
I'll
Do
follow.
either of them have one of the earrings?
Sure, one of them at least does.
I think
No.
no, neither of us do. I have message, so it's fine.
I can contact Toto.
I'll stop here. If you need anything, just contact me.
Cool. As you go on board, you can just see the inside of this, like, pretty much interior of the ships from Alien, kind of biomechanical looking insides. Looks organic, but it's been sculpted out of other material, resins and shit. The sticks going this way.
Okay. What happened to the big spidery thing that came from this ship?
Oh, those things, I wouldn't worry about that.
Did you leave him back at the dock? Or did you somehow manage to kill him?
Neither. That very distinct, heavy clunk, clunk, clunk of their legs moving around. Oh, The masters are already here, and they can see that his eyes are kind of glazed over. Several of them just kind of stepping out of like recesses in the hall, just like.
Not one of us thought to make an insight check.
Nope, and it's fucking beautiful. Oh,
I just sort of looked at him like, you're stupid shit. And just just use the telepathy bangle just to say, Toto, we're fucked. Start shooting.
at that point, see as Toto's ready to load the bolt, you see the leg above just slam itself into the ship and is now like pinned inside the hull.
Toto's just going to start firing, just as soon as he's given the word, just start shooting it with the.
I'll say first shot you get a freebie since you already had it all laid up. You've damaged the leg, but it's still embedded in the hull. Y'all roll initiative, please.
Do you want to get the turn order up first?
Or do you want to get rid of the turn on?
There we go.
That's it.
Go by accident.
Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, another one gone, and another one bites the dust.
You see 3 of the larger Nyogi stepping out and surrounding the tiefling. What do you wish to do?
Huh. Yeah, let's say, just a quick question. The whistle, is it going to work exactly the same as Find Familiar, or is it slightly different in any way?
Works the exact same.
So if I summoned a creature, it couldn't fight.
Correct.
Right, fair enough. Just wanted to double check that. Okay, with that aspect, Cloud will just smack, summon the blade staff and smack the tiefling upside the head with the opposite end.
Okay.
Just to basically just try and knock him the fuck out, or knock some sense into him either way.
Okay, smack him. At 20, I'll just say you knock him straight into common sense because ow. But still roll damage. Because he's now
15.
knocks sense into him. He's immediately broke out of the enslavement that he had been put on.
And I'm not engaged with anybody else apart from him, correct?
Yeah.
Also, I will then grab Elizabeth and use my movement and my bonus action to dash off of this ship. So that's 60, but reduced to 30 because I'm taking someone. And if I need to, I'll use my feline agility to double that up to back up to 60 to move with Elizabeth back onto our ship.
Managed to get just to where the ramp is, and then another two Neogi step out and just, though smaller in size and not quite as intimidating, though still ugly as sin and horrible, nightmare fuelish, step out in front and block the doorway.
And unfortunately, that's all my turn. Apart from shouting at the tiefling, "You stupid shit, run!"
Wait, what the? Oh shit! I had nightmares like this when I was a kid. Fuck this kind of thing. Izzy, you move.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab my holy symbol, and look at the Viking leg that has bolted itself into the deck of our ship. Point and cast guiding bolt at it.
Okay, fire off guiding bolt.
19 to hit,
Hits.
so knock that down. So it takes 11 radiant damage, and the next attack on it has advantage.
Oh, the leg is now starting to kind of shimmer, and the guiding bolt has taken effect.
Then I'll come down from the crow's nest onto the deck just to be on the safe side.
Okay, good. Else?
Yep, that's my turn.
Oh, you're
Alright.
up.
I basically just want to disconnect our ship from theirs. So if I can shoot a leg off, then I will have a go at that.
Oh, fire a shot at the leg with the.
What do you want me to roll for that? Like an attack roll plus.
We'll check what the ballista. What the ballista. It's a +5 to your attack roll for now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And one
But
more,
anyway.
see if you get that nat 20.
Do I have?
Yeah, you have advantage on it from the
Alright.
guiding bolt.
No. The 23.
It's 10, I think it is, for the ballista.
The medium. What is it? Small. The medium one's like a 3d12.
3d12 then.
Plus 9.
Leg is starting to crumble.
Alright, and then same again for my second attack.
Yeah, this time it's not got advantage.
Hits. But after that next hit, the leg thing snaps off. There's still the bit that's embedded in the hull of the ship, but the rest of it snapped off and is now flailing about.
All right, that's my turn.
Copy.
You said there were 3 of them on deck with.
There are 3 of them on the inside of the ship in front of you, surrounding
Yeah.
the tiefling.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 normal sized ones that block the exit. So
Okay,
many.
and the one that got guiding bolted is the attack has been taken against him, right?
That was the leg. That was the armature thing that was holding the ship in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Toto remained on the gift ship, so that if this sort of thing happened, we could try and get them off.
Copy is also
Okay.
on the gift ship.
No, I'm with Elspeth and
Are you?
Cloud. Yeah, I followed. Okay. Okay. I am going to start running towards the 2 that is blocking the exit and just take a shot at. I'm just gonna take. No, you know what? I'm gonna take a stab at it with my short sword, and then, as a bonus action, I could take a stab at it with my dagger.
Okay.
So, short sword and then dagger, basically. And I don't get sneak attack because there's no one adjacent to it. 10 doesn't hit, and then dagger. Oh, for the love of God, it's gonna be one of those nights. Cool. Yeah, that's my.
Oh, I think Scott might have died again.
Your turn.
Oh, there we go. So Elspeth is going to drop Shield of Faith because I think it's coming to an end anyway. And she's going to go, this may work better for you, and cast Haste on Cloud. And move towards the spiders in the doorway. So she's in their melee range. And that will be her turn.
Range. The first bigger one is going to attempt to enslave the tiefling again. Thankfully, he saves. However, Cloud and Elspeth and Copy, all 3 of you, please make wisdom saving throws.
Is this against a charm?
Yes, you'd get advantage because you're.
Yeah, cool.
That's a big nope.
In order from top to bottom. Nope. Nope. Just. After ones have enslaved. The other ones tried to enslave Elspeth and it hadn't worked. The last regular one, same again, Elspeth. All of them enslaved. Burn for that. Cloud, you're now subordinate to big ugly spider motherfucker.
What does my master want me to do?
He starts to slowly walk forward and says,
Sorry, man, you broke up there.
"Bring the others to us."
Cloud will nod his head, walk out the door, put his hand up and say, "It is all right. We've dealt with them. And the ship flies on its own. Come, see."
Is that how he normally acts?
Nope.
Insight.
Go ahead, make an insight check.
Come on. Come on, roll 20. Figure out I clicked something. There we go. 23.
Not quite right.
Yeah, something's not right with him.
Cloud, he's others are not quite responding to you. How do you deal with it?
Walk across the boarding plank and says, "What is the matter with you all? Come, I've dealt with them. You know me. I do not like to hang around. And the ship is bigger, and we don't need a GIF anymore." And Cloud will pretty much just hold his action for the first person to come near him, to basically just basically just sort of knock out. Well, no, not knock out. Sort of like grapple. Unless they start coming willingly.
Izzy, it's your turn.
Okay, alright. Um, just to confirm, this is not his normal self, right?
I've got no idea what's going on.
Sorry about this. Let's see if this works. Guiding bolt on Cloud. And you know what? Because I know how fecking tough Cloud is to hit, I'm going to use that one inspiration I have for advantage to do this.
Don't forget you have +2 to your AC, Cloud.
I know.
26 to hit?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not that high.
I know, but you've seen how our rolls have been tonight. So you take 15 points of radiant damage. And you
Also,
are
make a
bloody.
wisdom save.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus
fuck's
Christ.
sake.
Ah. Not only is the enslavement maintained, but it's now like gone and deeper, just of like you are now thoroughly under the thumb here.
Yeah. Toto? It seems like something has a hold of him. It might not even be him. So, do forgive me if I kill him. As I draw the short sword and just get ready in case he does attack.
Toto, your turn.
All right. Just figuring out what is wrong here. I'm gonna climb off the ballista. I'm gonna put both hands in the air. Short bow on my back, long bow on my back. Sorry, and say, "All right, you're my friend. I trust you. I'm gonna follow you." And then I'm gonna walk to him, both hands in the air, and then as I get there, just kick him in the nuts.
You have advantage to kick him in the nuts because he is glowing.
Can you reach that high
Oh,
for the height difference?
It's a
I
drop
have to
kick.
just jump. Yeah, 2 foot.
Yeah, that you do like a sort of like jumping uppercut and just like hit him in the nutsack. Just roll the attack with a unarmed strike.
Remember, with advantage because he is shining.
What
If
is
you
my
roll
unarmed
a-
strike?
Roll
What's
It's
a
the
20 plus your
modifier?
strength.
Oh, strength. Yeah, I'll just roll a strength check. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, I missed that. So I'm going to use my second attack as I'm on my back, since I tried to drop kick him. I'm just going to jump up and just uppercut him right in the balls.
Yeah, this is a straight roll.
For fuck's sake.
I just like holding his hand out, just like palm on your forehead, and whilst you're trying to punch him and kick him in the balls, he's like, nope.
Just got a nice breathe on my nuts.
Fuck's sake.
Anything
Just
else?
to point out, Macca hasn't been put on the turn order.
I know. I'm aware. Thank you for reminding me though. Poppy. Your turn.
I'll just look at them and see what instructions.
He sends you a telepathic message saying, bring them to us.
I'm gonna
Force if necessary.
how because there's a gangplank between the two ships, right?
Yeah, like a wide gangplank.
Right. Cool. I'll just jump across and see if I can get to Toto.
To jump across from both ships.
As in, I'll use a gangplank to go across. I was gonna
Yeah,
jump across, but then I was like,
be
that's
careful
stupid.
how you worded that there, because I was thinking if you're going to jump,
Sorry, no. It's
you would have
I'm gonna
you
run
would have fucked
across
that up.
and go to Toto.
You can move right up to total.
And then just put a gun to his head and say, "Move now."
This total react to getting a gun put in his face.
Uh, purely because it's copy, he ain't moving for shit.
I'll cock it, put it to the head. Move, or I'll make you move.
Fine. Humbo.
And then kind of, yeah, essentially drag him to, not drag him, but try to push him to the ship.
Elspeth.
Being an elf, I'm chancing my luck. Being an elf, would I get some kind of save on my turn to try and shake the mind control?
Oh yeah, do I get a save after the turn?
It's only if you get hit.
OP ability. Yeah, well, I guess they want me to go onto the ship then. Or I'll ask them, what do you want me to do?
And they just repeat the same order, bring the others on board.
Okay, excuse Jason's very loud noise in the background. I'll walk off of the gangplank onto the ship and go, come, it's fine, there's no one there. We dealt with them, it's all okay.
Yeah, I'll insight her because the combination of A, acting weird, plus B, putting a gun to head equals C. Something must be off with C as well.
Should I make a deception check?
Make deception check if you wish.
Oh, that wasn't an advantage, ignore me, so that's a 10.
14.
Lots
So
of things up.
oh, great.
There is something pretty brash.
Halo guide me.
I think with that, folks, we're going to call it for tonight.
I'd really rather not leave it there for 2 weeks, that'll irritate the fuck out of me.
That's true.
Well.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm going to have to try and get the orcs to help me kill you all. If you roll nat ones on your wisdom saves.
I'm sorry, it wasn't my fault. We've been rolling shit all night.
I know.
The only decent roll I've got is my initiative.
Yeah, that's why I burned the inspiration to get that advantage on you because of how shit we've been rolling.
Yeah, you don't want to know my next action.
Yep, this is going to be interesting.
This possession thing has come at a very awkward time when I actually do want to kill Tota if he was going to take a step too far with the slave.
Irony being, you're now a slave too.
Thing is,
Yeah.
He was saving the slaves, man. And then he got on board the ship, and everyone was like, "You're a dick," and he was like, "What?"